I'm gonna make this quick. I'm not actually supposed to be parked here at the Federal District Courthouse in Saipan right now. Security just came and told me, oh, you can't park here until 8. It's like 6:30 now, because today at 9, Julian Assange is going to be here in Saipan to do his guilty plea. A lot of the media has been reporting, oh, he's free, he's left UK, he's free. He's not quite free yet. He's got to do his guilty plea here. They're going to sentence him to time served. The judge here. Look, isn't this crazy? This is why they chose Saipan. That's all the media that there is. 2 hours before Julian Assange's thing is about to end, there wasn't enough time for people to get here. So I'm assuming that that's Guam and probably local media, maybe some students, maybe they got some stringers. But it's going to happen right here. And as a Bitcoiner, Julian Assange is a particularly important person because arguably Wikileaks accepting Bitcoin is the reason why Satoshi Nakamoto vanished, or it was a catalyst for it. His last post on Bitcoin, on the Bitcoin Talk forums, was to say Wikileaks has kicked the hornet's nest and now the swarm is headed towards us, in reference to the fact that the Wired had come out with an article saying that Wikileaks was going to accept Bitcoin. Julian Assange has said in interviews that really it was the way that they were able to stay operating. The price jumped. People were giving WikiLeaks Bitcoin and they were holding it, and the price jumped. He said an 8,000% increase on their holdings. So it's been very important. But one of the things that it's so weird, of all the places that they would have him come to Saipan. And actually, I would be going to the hearing, except for the fact that we are going today to fly and go to one of our other islands here. We had a meeting scheduled with their legislative delegation to discuss legislation that they have that is potentially about the next chapter in Bitcoin and what Bitcoin can do. Here ends a chapter in Bitcoin. A lot of the narrative about Bitcoin being all about crime and criminals and all of that, this was the criminal that people were pointing to. This was the sort of black market. Satoshi had said, I wish that this could have happened in any other context except for WikiLeaks. He was worried that it would really destroy the Bitcoin community, having all of these eyeballs, especially like law enforcement eyeballs on it. But one thing that I want to say is Bitcoin is a terrible way to do crime. It's been around all this time, and virtually no crime when they've actually ran the numbers, which you can, because Bitcoin is an immutable ledger. When they've ran the numbers, there's basically no crime. Crime is done with physical, especially US dollars. Why would you not want to do crime on Bitcoin? Well, you wouldn't want to do it because it's an immutable ledger. The whole idea of Bitcoin is that it tracks the movement of money, which is the last thing that criminals want. If Bitcoin was good for crime, it's been around for 15 years, you would see all of the networks chalked up with crime. They're not. You would see them actually full of transactions. They're not. They're not full of commerce transactions. It's horrible. It's horrible for crime. And so maybe this is the end. Maybe this is the end of that chapter. What I'm worried about, though, is that as this new chapter opens up, it's very interesting that they just had this conference. I forget which one it was, big Bitcoin conference. All the grifter thought leaders were there. Michael Saylor did the keynote, and his narrative about what Bitcoin is was so off. Almost everything he said was jargon or wrong. There was no meat to it whatsoever. And that is a bit of my worry, is that we end a chapter on one incorrect understanding of what this technology does, what these concepts are about. Even as Satoshi said, I wish it would have happened in any other context. And I feel like we're moving into the same exact thing, where it's about greed. It's about, Michael Saylor is talking about, it's going to go up 50%. Up against what? Up against the US dollar. It's going to go up 50% a year, every year. It's the best. There's nothing else. It's the best asset, but it's the best because it's going to make you richer. All he wants to do is buy and hold, which is not using the network. And I feel like it's exciting for people to jump on that narrative, just as it was exciting for people to jump on the, you use Bitcoin for crime narrative. Do we need to go another 15 years? Is that what it's going to be? I would suggest, if you want to know, look, if this tells you anything, look, it's happening here. The past 5 years, I've been working on the concepts that we're doing here. It's not for nothing. Right here, Julian Assange is about to end his thing, and a chapter of Bitcoin is about to close. If you want to really go deep, if you don't want to get into the Saylor cult, if you want to know what this is really all about, if you don't want to fall into a narrative like so many fell into, so that we can actually get this done and actually do some things that are good for humanity, and oh, the things we can do are so good for humanity. You got to get a little education about what it really is. You could get it from me. You could get it from anywhere. I don't care. If you do want to get it from me, Bitcoin Mystery School. We still have a few slots for July, mid-July, July 19th, 20th, and 21st, that weekend. Come and join me in the currency curriculum. I'll probably do some more videos before that time, and we'll get into even more of the things that we're talking about. But let's even talk a little bit about Wikileaks. Let's talk about Julian Assange. Let's talk about it being used for crime. Let's talk, or not, as the case may be. Let's talk about those things. Come and join me, bitcoinmysteryschool.com. You can sign up now. Only 30 people allowed in the course. You're going to get the course for 3 days. You're going to be able to have the recordings for yourself to watch at your leisure. You're going to make your own cryptocurrency on the last day, and you get lifetime admission to our private Telegram group. So come join me there. I'll talk to you next time.